Loki's mentor. Hello, One Piece enthusiast. I'm the One Piece nerd. Today, let's talk about One Piece chapter 1145. And the dreams and the nightmares are out of control, but the giants have somewhat got it. We have Gaban, Zoro, and Sanji are somehow working on it, and we've, of course, got a lot more going on, but it's been handled pretty well. And to be completely honest, this is the least of my concerns. Now, of course, the biggest of my concerns being from the last chapter is how the giants are going to stop the kids. And if they do have to stop the kids, I think this is a ticking time bomb. A time bomb where they have to defeat the Holy Knights before the children gets to the boat, before they are kidnapped, or they have to finish the Holy Knights. And I guess that is the ticking time bomb for this arc. With the last panel being Gunko showing up in front of the Straw Hats, I think it's time for a head-to-head battle in terms of the mainland fights. We obviously have Zoro Sanji now. We have Zoro Sanji Luffy with Loki, and we have things talking about it. Loki does in fact apparently have information about Shanks. But without that being revealed, we've been given more questions. As typical fashions of Oda, we've been given the idea and the structure and the fact that Loki had a mentor. Of course he did. Every good pirate had a mentor. But it's a mentor that I didn't really think about. It's Roxy Zebek. Considering Loki's motivations in regards to destruction and becoming the sun god, maybe it did come from Zebek, or maybe it didn't. But the biggest question lies, where on earth did Loki meet Zebek? Now, upon speculation, you would like to think that Loki went with the giant warrior pirates, and giants are pretty freaking old and they can travel around. Maybe he was a bus boy or a whatever cleaning boy for the giant warrior pirates. That's where he met Rox, but that's apparently not true. Upon closer inspection, also with further investigations into the sort of narratives that have been going on, where we see Frankie meeting Roger, Luffy meeting Shanks, it's always happened at the place where the character perspective is in their home ground. For Luffy, it was Fuchsia Village. For Frankie, it was Water 7. And for Loki, this is definitely going to be Elbaf. The biggest question is, what was Rox doing on Elbaf, I don't know, let's say 40-odd-ish years ago? That's a question to answer. And of course, there is a confusion between the fandom that's been going on with Goldberg's shield, that Goldberg has the shield from Big Mom. Is it from the fight that happened when Rox went to Elbaf and then Big Mom was in the crew, and that's how they got the shield, or was it because of the whole panic attack incident? I would like to say this is the panic attack incident, and I think a clearer translation would ensure that that message is clearly confirmed. But that's the least of my concerns, however. I will go back to why Rox was in Elbaf, and it was obviously to find the next poneglyph. If he truly was looking to be king of the world and Imu was already there, the likelihood of the poneglyphs being in Elbaf or somewhere else around there, or someone in Elbaf who knew about them, would be there. And hence, maybe Rox was there. If not, it makes an even more greater question. The giant warrior pirates went up against Rox. Why? And if they did, how did they manage to survive? I would like to believe that Loki was on home ground. Loki saw Rox do whatever he did in Elbaf for his legends. But considering Elbaf has been closed off for the last how many ever years, that seems highly unlikely. Or maybe Rox did come to tyrannize Elbaf, but Saw couldn't, and then there was a truce. But this idea of Rox showing up in Elbaf creates a lot of possibilities and frictions between the giants and the outside world, and gives a perspective as to what King Harold have thought 40 years ago and what eventually happened to him. And if Loki's motivations do come from Zebek, we would like to think that Blackbeard has it way worse. Somehow, Blackbeard made contact with Zebek far more frequently, or rather in a more clear-cut way. Loki probably saw Zebek once in his lifetime, the same way Luffy did with Shanks, and they were just impressed by the small action. But what about Blackbeard, who probably has seen Zebek firsthand or has even inherited his soul? The potential of Blackbeard's motivations or the capabilities of his destruction is massive if he somehow inherited the will of Zebek. Other than that, of course, there is something I do want to mention briefly here, which I will be complaining about in the next week's video because we have had a break. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that the stakes in One Piece have gone down ever since post Marineford, or did it stay the same? Or did it go down? Or did it even go off for you guys? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. For me, I just would simply want to say that it doesn't feel the same anymore, and I want to know your opinions. That's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.